Hello, my name is Miss Taylor, and I am recording this video for parents and guardians who are attending open house to try to answer some of your most critical questions and concerns about the courses in which I teach your child. I know that sometimes open house can get chaotic and we don't always have a chance to discuss or dialogue the way that I would like in the time that we have. I wanted to begin with a thank you and to thank you for taking the time to watch this video and for your support as a parent or guardian. Education is my passion and I very much love what I do, but I have no delusions about whether or not I can do it by myself. None of us can do what we do in education without the help and the support of parents. So I hope that this video answers your questions and opens up an avenue for communication throughout the school year so that your son or daughter can be as successful as possible. A little introduction to myself. I am originally from a city called Brockton in Massachusetts. I have a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, which is how I originally got tapped to be a part of the engineering program at Atlantic Coast. And I also have an MAT in mathematics. I have been at Atlantic Coast since the second year the school was open. So there is a small handful of people that have been there longer than me, but not a whole lot. I currently teach Algebra 2, Intro to Engineering Design, and Digital Electronics. I coach Marathon High, which is a club sport where we train for the Donna Half Marathon in February. Running is one of my out of school passions, and I love being able to share that with the students here at Atlantic Coast. So what are IED and digital electronics, and why should students take them? IED, Intro to Engineering Design, is a foundational course covering different disciplines of engineering with a focus on how engineers think about solving problems. It's really more a course about how you approach a task. How do you deal with your criteria? What constitutes a good solution? How do you deal with constraints? And those could be time constraints, material constraints. How do you develop a plan and execute that plan the way an engineer would? It hones problem-solving skills, creativity, and collaboration skills. We do a lot of work in groups. I try to shuffle the groups a lot so that students have to adapt to getting to know new people and work with them fairly quickly. One neat thing about IED is that students can test for industry certification in Fusion 360. That is a CAD program. It is similar to programs like AutoCAD or Inventor. So a student that has the certification in that, the skills fairly easily transfer over to the other programs. I first learned in Inventor and then got my certification in Fusion because the skills transferred over. That is an industry recognized credential. So your child can put that on their job resumes, which I know is quite a ways away, but it's one of those certifications they want to hang on to. Digital electronics is a foundational course in electronic circuit design, and it overlaps a college level digital logic course. Somewhere in my classroom, I do have my textbook from when I took digital logic as a sophomore in college, and the students are usually pretty surprised at the overlap in the content. We cover about the first half of that textbook in the class that we're teaching here at AC. This develops a strong background in Boolean algebra and in logic. So for students that might be bending towards computer science or computer programming, those skills will come in handy there. And students learn the fundamentals of circuit design as part of the design process. Both classes offer honors elective credit, and both classes offer the PLTW final exam that can qualify for college credit at partner schools. PLTW stands for Project Lead the Way, and they are the organization that provides our curriculum. So resources, what resources are available? So over the last few years, I have developed online resources for my students. This is something that I started doing during COVID, And while I think all of us vastly prefer face-to-face instruction, one thing that I realized was that the online resources weren't bad. They weren't bad for students to have. And so it's something that I've continued doing. These resources are helpful for making up work after an absence or for reviewing concepts from class that may have been covered quickly. And one of the things that I say pretty much every day, it is their responsibility to check those online resources when they are absent. I am certainly open to their questions, but often I get students ask me in the doorway, what did I miss last class? And that puts this pressure on to come up with a 15-second summary of a 90-minute class when there's already resources there online that will show them exactly what they missed. So what is actually available online? If there are worksheets, there are copies of the worksheets available. So I will upload a digital copy. Students can read them. If they have a printer at home, they can print them, or they can just do the work on a separate piece of paper. That's totally fine. I do allow work to be uploaded to Focus from home when appropriate. And the lesson videos go over the same lesson that was presented in class. I record all of my own videos, much like I'm recording this one. So they're not getting generic videos that I just did a search on YouTube for. I actually present my own PowerPoint that I have written, and it's the same as what they would get in class or comparable to. I also record demo videos for software skills if students are not present in class. So when they start working in Fusion, and for digital, the program that we use mostly is a program called Multisim. They don't always know how to use the program or how to access certain menus or what a particular feature looks like. And when that happens, there will be a demo video available for them to watch as well so that they can make that up. These resources can be accessed from Teams, and this is a shot from my digital electronics. So if you look at the left, the tab I'm in is called Daily Work. I believe in the IED team, it's labeled Daily Lessons, and every lesson is labeled by the date. So you can see here on September 13th, we did a seatbelt lesson. It was our first functional circuit that we designed to actually perform a particular task, particular function in a car. If a student missed the lesson, they can click on the video link there and literally watch the lesson. And they also have access to the PowerPoint. If there are handouts, there are like links for the handouts. This year that I'm recording this, we are having some issues with access to the files. So when a student clicks on one of the links, it's telling them they don't have access, but it's not doing it all the time, which of course makes it a joy to troubleshoot. It has to do with whether Teams imports my file into Teams or whether they try to link it from my OneDrive. And so I've been telling them if they can't open something, if it's telling them that they don't have access, to email me, because I can try to get the file over into Teams again, or I will simply email them a link to whatever they need. So I want to make sure that they have that. But what I don't want them is to just say, well, I don't have access, so therefore I don't have to do anything. I have tutoring on Mondays until 3 p.m. Also available by appointment. Sometimes students don't know what that means. It just means check with me. As I mentioned before, I do coach Marathon High, so I'm not available every day. This is really essential for work that can only be done in class. And engineering is a really difficult class to make up if you are absent. It is very easy for the work and the tasks and the concepts to get away from you. Digital electronics, this is new this year. They may sign out an engineering laptop for access to Multisim from home. IED students will have access to Fusion from home. There is an online version of Fusion that does run on their student laptops. So if they are missing Fusion work, they can watch the demo video and actually complete the file or the assignment from home, and they can either screencast it or post screenshots, whatever the directions are for submitting the assignment. Digital electronics students, there is a online version of Multisim, but it's substantially different from the version that we use in class, and the license that we have does not cover them getting that on their school laptops. But we do have engineering laptops that up until this year have had to stay in the classroom because they were school, like we needed them for the classes. But we now have desktop computers, which allows us a little bit more flexibility with the laptops. So that is an option that they have if they fall behind on some of the multi-sim stuff, is to check out a laptop and to be able to complete that assignment. Grading is done on a points-based system, which just means that each assignment is worth points. Students' final grade is the points that they earn divided by the points possible. I am generally flexible with many deadlines in engineering because just the whole engineering process is not something that you can nail down in black and white as much as you can with a math class. I will often announce in class when late penalties are going to be imposed. And what happened last year is I did have some students that were really abusing that flexibility to the point where they weren't turning in work, and they ultimately ended up digging themselves such a big hole of missing work that they couldn't dig out of it by the end of the quarter. And so I did have to institute a less flexible policy with them last year, where I would only accept work for 2 weeks after the posted deadline. So whatever they saw in focus as the deadline, they had like 2 weeks after that, sometimes with a late penalty attached to it, and then I had to cut them off. I have not needed to do that yet this year, so let's hope that I don't. Replacement credit is not available. Replacement credit is the kind of thing when students say they don't do the actual work and they ask me for something else that is not available to other students. Each student has to have the same opportunities to improve their grades in class. So when students come to me and say, well, can I just do something else? No, you can't do something else. You have to do the work that was actually assigned to you. A couple things about the Engineering Academy. So all students enrolled in an engineering class are a part of the Engineering Academy by default. Sometimes that surprises students. Some students, like, that's why they're at AC, is they want to be a part of the academy. Other students are like, what do you mean I'm part of an academy? Did I sign up for that? Well, sort of, when you ended up in an engineering class. Students who maintain a GPA of 2.5 or higher in at least 3 engineering courses will receive an honor cord at graduation. So we do have Engineering Academy honor cords. It does necessitate that they take at least 3 of our engineering courses, and in those courses, they need to hold a GPA of 2.5. Students who earn a level of accomplished or higher on 3 PLTW exams earn something called engineering core certification. And as I mentioned before, PLTW is the organization that provides our curriculum, and they have their own exams that we administer at the end of the year that are separate from the district exams. And students can get novice, practiced, accomplished, or distinguished on those exams. If they take 3 of them and they get accomplished or higher on all 3, then they earn something through the Florida Society of Engineers. It's called Engineering Core Certification, which is also something that they can put on their resumes. Engineering students are strongly encouraged to participate in field trips, engage with our guest speakers, participate in the ACE mentorship program, and otherwise explore what we call out of classroom opportunities. We try to take several field trips a year. We do have guest speakers come in. The ACE mentorship program is phenomenal. It meets after school and through our principles of engineering classes, but it's available to all engineering students after school. And that focuses on architecture and construction. I really try to emphasize with them that the quality of your education is more than just taking a lot of advanced placement classes and getting all A's. Nothing against advanced placement classes and getting all A's, just that getting outside of the classroom is a different kind of experience, and it can really round out their high school academic resumes. Both students and parents can serve on our advisory board. We do meet 4 times a year. This year, we are transitioning to a district level board, and just as of this recording, I've only heard a little bit about what that will look like. So I can't give as many details as I have in the past because I'm not going to be the person running the board anymore. But we do want representation from all of the stakeholders in the academies. It's not stressful or high pressure or anything. So if you are interested as a parent in serving, please reach out to me and let me know. That being said, how to reach out to me. My preferred method of contact is email. My email address is taylorr@duvalschools.org, and I will always respond to you as soon as I can to address any questions or concerns that you have. Conferences, if you need to meet with me in person, can be scheduled through Ms. Paula Rearick. Her email is rearickp@duvalschools.org. And you can schedule conferences with multiple teachers at once if needed. So if you need to speak with me and someone, Ms. Rearick will get all of us together. If I cannot attend a conference, I will be sure to contact you personally instead. So if I am sick that day or traveling, whatever the reason may be, I will make sure that I reach out to you personally, either by phone, email, or both, in order to just address whatever concerns that you have. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video, and please let me know if you have any additional questions.